other airborne diseases. McDowell's colon cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's prostate help prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Monday afternoon to you, everyone. Welcome once again to another broadcast, another program, the start of another week of The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, alongside my co-host Terry Fenelon and our technical operator Alton Jaquan Joseph. It is Monday, the 15th day of the month of September 2025, and you know what that means? We're at the halfway point of the month of September, the 9th month. So those of you who get paid fortnightly, it don't take much, a little $5, just come and drop in a little box that I've set up at the front, Shelton Daniel Appreciation Fund or something like that, since when I get so important. Quote here. All right, folks, hope you're having a good day. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. I don't know why. I just sometimes have a feel good in me about certain days and certain weeks. I just don't know. This Monday, I just have a feel good about me. I'm often miserable when it comes to sleeping and so on. I toss and turn a lot. I'm very indisciplined. I get up to use the bathroom and then I don't go back to sleep. Something interesting catches my eye, a book I've been wanting to read. Turn on the TV, what's news, Al Jazeera switch, you can always find me at Al Jazeera, BBC, MSNBC, I've toggled through them and so on. But for some reason this weekend the sleep was much better. And even on Saturday, I actually slept during the day, very, very unusual thing for me. And I felt so, somebody was asking me and I said, I had a much better weekend than I've had. And actually it's one of my co-workers there who I wouldn't name, who actually has to be on a few days sick leave, who is so kind despite that co-worker's own challenges, called to find out how I'm doing. So I hope that this is your story, that you had a good weekend, you have a good start to the week, you have some feel good in you, and that, you have this optimism that it is going to continue. I feel energetic, I feel up there, and of course, if I'm not energetic, you seldom will know. Once I reach Real Issues, that zone and so on, something takes over, just like Terry, the fire, just lights up in you. But of course, there's always the sad news, and the weekend brought shooting deaths and so on, and I've been bothered, like I know everybody is about it, because if they continue to do that with such seeming impunity, that's what I have to say, then they're going to feel like they're in control of the place. They're going to feel like they're running things, and who knows who next they might target. Will they target the police themselves and target police stations and feel, that if they want to have their way in a certain community by suppression of law enforcement? I'm not saying it will happen, and I'm not planting ideas, but I do hope that among the things that the police do, which they likely will not talk about, is an ongoing, continuous, regular review of the security of police stations and so on, to look at them and say, look, that Richmond police station, yes, we built a new police station, it's imposing, it's nice. In Dennery, oh, what wonderful things this Central Labour Party has done whenever it's in government. But, it is the fence, is the approach to it, such that if criminals, because let's face it, a lot of those guys, criminal deportees, they were in the places like the United States where they learned very sophisticated levels of criminality in gangs and militias maybe. They might come back with certain abilities that they might fancy their luck in storming a police station. And so you need to look at the security and say, okay, this is a vulnerability we possibly have here. This fence, this gate, whatever, we need to tend to. It's just something that just comes to my mind because they're doing it with just too much boldness and so on. 2 young men shot, in the same dwelling. The mother is so stunned. She's giving an interview like she can't figure out, how that happened, when that happened, why that happened, and so on. And that is the story that goes over and over again. We know about the shooting in Grosile, and it's always that kind of story now. We need really something's got to give in terms of putting a slowdown, putting some brakes on it. Because they obviously are so well coordinated that they know when police will be around, when to strike and to just disappear and fade away and melt away in the neighborhood, in the night, in the bushes, whatever. We really can't continue this sort of thing. It's a long time we can't continue, but something's got to give in that regard. However, disturbing as that is, you heard me talk about an ex-deputy commissioner of police talking about once he hears or sees a certain politician in the parliament becoming fired up, he puts his hand by his waist. And for me to hear a former minister, and that former ex-deputy cop was also a minister of government. There's another one who was a minister of government for 3 terms. Well, not for 3 terms. He was a member of parliament for 3 terms. Of those 3 terms, he was a minister for 2 of those 3 terms. And it's very disturbing when you hear those kinds of things coming from the platform of the United Workers' Party. And I'll tell you why. United Workers' Party always prided itself on being the party of law and order. That is John Compton's United Workers' Party. They always took people to task for any statements that seemed to encourage, that seemed to incite violence. They always, under John Compton, fancied themselves as the party of discipline. At one time, I think Rick Wayne wrote an article where he went to cover a UWP convention, and when he reached, certain over-exuberant UWP supporters came to physically confront him and boo him and heckle him. And John Compton, who was on the platform, said, no, don't do that. We deal with our enemies or our opponents in a civilized way. And, he was very careful to say that very early. But when you hear like what Peter Josie said, on a UWP platform, that he would tell the young men, the gangsters, the gunmen of Vieux-Fort to make sure that no politician of the Labour Party can show their face in Vieux-Fort, to confront them with ammunition and that sort of thing. When you hear what another activist of the UWP, a guy called Wayne Harrow, said about, the burning of houses, and we may just have to go down that way. We may. There's no we may. We don't want to go down that way. That's where. And now, of all people, who I can tell you, I never associated with that kind of chat. I've criticized him for what he has to say about the state of your soul if you support him, I've criticized him for those things, but I just never associated him with any kind of talk of violence, whether his level of desperation is growing, whether he realizes that Castries Southeast has been put out of his reach first by Joachim Henry, and now, given the launching that we are told is going to take place, and no way, Sister Lisa Jawai is going to let him show his face again.
That's right.
From everything that I'm hearing and so on. But, my friend, this is what Guy Joseph, it's a very short clip, but why would Guy Joseph, of all people, a minister of religion in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, a man who claims that he was confronted in the church by an armed Joachim Henry, something which has been hotly disputed, if not comprehensively refuted, who said he was confronted by an armed Joachim Henry. So I would expect this is a man who eschews anything that even insinuates, even hints at bloodshed. But this is what he had to say.
Blood must flow in this country. I'm putting the Labour Party on notice tonight. Blood must flow in this country. Blood must flow in this country.
By any means necessary, any means need any means.
We need to get angry.
Blood must flow in this country.
Like I said, this is another Flambeau line.
Blood must flow in this country. I'm putting the Labour Party on notice tonight. Blood must flow in this country. Blood must flow in this country.
By any means necessary, any means need any means.
We need to get angry.
Blood must flow in this country.
Like I said, this is another Flambeau line.
Blood.
Can you imagine this? Coming from anybody, this is a statement that is insightful, inflammatory, This is not the kind of statement, one might even say, given what is happening in the country, that this can even be considered, or what's the word for that? Seditious and so on.
Inciting violence.
Saying this kind of thing, given what we are going through in St. Lucia, what we are struggling. Nobody, no politician, no one who has been a minister of government, who is also a minister of religion, from what I understand, an elder, a preacher, should be mounting. You don't have two lives. You don't have one life where you're in the church and another life where you're on the platform. You have only one life. You are one person, indivisible. You cannot put a separation between yourself on Saturday, when you're preaching in the church, and Sunday when you're having your public outings and lives and town halls and so on, to be saying this kind of thing. Do you have a heart for your country, or is your country only important to you when you can win an election, become a minister or something of that sort, so that you can will power? And naturally, what will you do with that power? Iniquities. It has to be iniquities, because out of the abundance of the heart doth the mouth speak. If you are speaking this kind of way, it means there is an iniquitous heart. There is a heart for whom nothing is out of bounds, no holds barred. You will do anything whatsoever, to achieve your ends, that is to gain office, to gain power. And when you have gained power, what are you likely to do with it? Your mouth is speaking things repeatedly that display the kind of heart that you have. Everybody's eager. It's a competitive thing, this politics. But oh my goodness, Miteri, I don't know if you want to say anything about that.
Well, I heard him last night after I came from our AGM. I'll talk about that in a while. And some of the things he was saying on platform there, defied logic. I just want to say something to this guy. Nobody is afraid of you, sir. Nobody. Okay? I want to say it. I'm not going to go further on Shelton, but we are not afraid of you. And prepare for the tsunami that is going to come your way. If you believe that we will back down on what we said. What we said was factual.
Yes.
And when I say something that is factual, I don't care what your zealots say. Factual. And my partner, the angry father,
in time.
Now,
in time.
Don't get me vexed and don't try to play. You're putting people on notice. But the Labour Party has nothing to do with what I disclosed.
Yes.
On Thursday at cricket, it was a fact. You gave 3 versions of your whereabouts on that day. And it is a fact. I'm not taking that back. So put me on notice. Do what you have to do. My lawyer is back in town, You know who's my lawyer?
Tell me.
The great Mario Michel.
Okay.
We went to court and we won a case that people thought we could win.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of you.
The former acting Chief Justice.
No, yes, I'm not afraid of you, boy. You believe you bad. That's Alfred Castro's issue. We take no prisoners. When I have stated a fact is a fact is a fact. No law can tell me shut up when I am stating a fact.
Terry, I wonder if it is desperation, to play to the gallery and to get people, because the United Workers' Party now looks like it has lost all shine, all sparkle.
And I want to read a little later, Shelton.
All excitement.
All
now.
excitement.
People are leaving the United States Party in droves. You know, there is a string of high-profile desertions from the party. You know, people are quitting. The names that I am hearing, I mean, they're focusing on the few that they know.
No, but
Edmond Estefan and
but what they don't know?
What they don't know, you know, is really the part that is bad. So maybe Guy Joseph feels he needs to do that to whip up a kind of fervor in the base, which is just not there.
We ain't afraid of you, boy.
You know,
you could be because you only have Adventists in your church.
Because look now, St. Jude Hospital, it looks like it's just. Anytime we just poke our head around the corner, we'll have to give them room. We'll have to take a step back because St. Jude look like it's going to be just around the corner.
Just around the corner.
And it will come upon us unexpectedly that we don't know. You know, that any moment St. Jude can just power govern, you know, and we don't know what we'll do. Not only that too, as you mentioned, you'll talk about the AGM. I hope I'm not going to steal your thunder.
No. We can flow.
But Philip J. Pierre, this master strategist, master politician, what the AGM yesterday, on top of everything he's spoken about, on top of unprecedented bonus. Oh my goodness!
You want to play that? Have the clip?
No. We really have to play Bertram Jean's song. You know, everything about Philip J. Pierre is unprecedented. You know, that song we played for the first time. You know, but for Philip J. Pierre to be announcing that in December, civil servants can look forward to another bonus again. What we ever?
What month are we in?
We in September. You know.
So. He has calculated. That's a measured man.
Yeah, the quarter.
A man who plans. A man who could see things through. You know, he's not spontaneous. He's not reckless.
Yes.
So he has already sat down. He has already counted the cost. He has already, played with the figures, and he knows well. September, October, November. But before we go to December, November, and he said about November in April. What's happening in November? All pensioners, government pensioners will be getting a bonus of about $600.
My goodness me.
The man budgeted because, as he said, as the economy improves, he will do more. So in April, at the policy statement, he made that declaration. People have forgotten that.
Right.
And now in September, he comes and say, listen, no, we should play that clip. Play that. I don't know Stillerman's one.
Yes.
Yes. Video one. Let me shut my mouth then. Let the Prime Minister talk.
The mood is red. The mood is red. The mood is red. That's the mood, red. I'm saying to all civil servants, we paid you your back pay, we paid your pay increase, and in December, we'll pay you another bonus. Because we have done it before. We paid you before. Your back pay, your 13% pay increase over 6 years. So in December, look for your bonus. Because this is real ching-ching. This is real money in your pocket. The mood is red. The mood is red. The mood is red.
Terry, doesn't that help you to understand the desperation?
But of course,
we want Philip J. Pierre out of there as quick as possible, even though we're not ready. Now, somebody called Pell, I wouldn't say his full name, in the real issues, asked me why I believe the UWP has so much bluster about it, about wanting elections. And this is one of the reasons,
That's right.
because they know if Philip J. Pierre do that, even if he do it before he wins the election, a lot of people will not want to change Philip J. Pierre if they know they have that to espay asoi to wait on him for it. So, Philip J. Pierre announced that. You have no chance, because people will say, you see that man? I want that man to be there for December or whatever time to make sure, because Chasney, in his typical mash-up character, will mash up everything and prevent it from happening.
Now remember when we used to be jealous of St. Kitts and the goat water? Because that's what they call it in St. Kitts, goat water.
Yes.
Because CIP, they were about the first with CIP, so they had money flowing.
I used to be jealous of them because they make sure they pay 13 monthly salaries every year.
Yeah, so in December, double salary for everybody. And we in St. Lucia were like, Messi.
Yeah.
Now, Philip JP has come, stabilize the economy, because Range Gerard might be my guest on Friday.
Okay.
And it's going to be talking about how the GDP, the debt to GDP ratio is actually 102%.
Okay.
But we're going to come to that at some point.
Right.
But you understand, these fellas were so reckless, and the country is broke. They couldn't pay a cent.
One thing you never let him forget that. You never let him forget that.
We have to
the country is broke. I can't say it like you.
And we have no more money. And COVID made it worse. The country is broke. Yeah. But
he must have cried that.
Oh, yeah.
He's a master at crying, you know.
So here is a man who came. I mean, it took us from minus 26%, you know, the deficit, and 4 years of positive growth. He has paid down the payables, because I understood we inherited about $180 million. These guys were borrowing and not paying the debt, you know. Fellas like Frank Charles suffered, and Frank Charles can call and tell you how he suffered, you know. How he lost money because for 5 years he couldn't get paid for work he had done. And he was not the only one. There were many other contractors, because they were perceived as being red. Christian, you know, Guy Joseph, did not pay the fellas because they were perceived as being red.
Yes.
You know, they did honest work and they couldn't get paid.
This is a cruel guy.
Cruel guy.
He knows the man earned the money.
And you think fellas are afraid of you? Continue to talk.
A whole term of government, you know.
You heard what he said, right?
Yeah.
The reason why he doesn't go into bubble if people he can't trust. That is why the SLP cannot find the things he did. He confessed, you know. That was a confession. We're not going to play it today.
Yeah,
because I didn't talk about Juju.
And then actually taunting people to say, if that's what you're crying for, you just start crying. You want to talk about Juju? Okay, go ahead.
No. Before the break. We have a few more minutes. Now, you know what I mean? A steady hand, planning. So, I mean, what you want again? Now, after the break, Shelton, we have to go to this article, you know, by this special contributor, which took that SOS, the same old, you could substitute whatever you want for the other S. I can't say it on TV. You know, the same old, and man, there are gems coming from that piece, okay, Shelton, that I think you would love, and we have to replay. You understand?
Who would have written that? Dr. Carlton?
No, Millennials Alphonse is not the author, but he reposted it by a special contributor. It could be Dr. Carlton too, because this guy, whoever it is, a woman too, whoever, guy, man, woman, took that apart and show it as the same old deco shit. But we're going to come to that. So let's go back to the thing. You could put on picture one, I think. Picture one. Just put that on there.
So this is the real ching. All the ching that they were spoken. You know, they're good at talking things, and they talk a good game. They talk a lot of money.
The man talks about you're going to pay for everybody at Safa. Good, but listen to that. You have to cut the programs. You understand? Now, slashing programs means lecturers being redundant, you know. And listen to the programs you want to be. And the first thing that came out of his mouth, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm listeners because I don't want to say anything that is untrue. Something dealing with hotels. In other words, not bellboys, storekeeping, if you are a storekeeper. How do you call it? The ladies who make the beds and clean the rooms and stuff. In other words, what did he say? Housekeeping. Yeah. What this guy said, you see, Safa, too many programs. You have to cut that. And you have to make it basically a hotel trade school where we could teach our children how to be waiters, how to mix drinks,
and bellhops,
how to be bellhops. And listen to him well, you know. Listen to the argument well. We're not playing it today. I didn't come to play it today. We're not playing it today. But basically, that is concept of Safa Lewis. So 42 programs. He said, nah, man. You have to cut these 42 programs. You know, you have to streamline it. To do what? He says the hotels are not yet still in the infancy. So in other words, you know, you have to groom these children going to Safa to be subservient, you know, to work in the hotels. Yeah. So for me, the St. Lucia is just one big hotel, and all the workers and children should be waiters and bellhops. And man, I tell you, you see this man, we have to send it into political oblivion once. We have to get rid of it on the body politic once and for all. You know, your partner Frigis likes to say, you know, lands that carbuncle, and he wants Chandelier to do that. You know what I mean? It's a simple operation for her. You know, yellow is pus. That's pus, man. We need to lance that and get rid of McDow and Coco Loram once and for all, because these fellas are. Let me cool out there. Now, before we go to the break, Juju, I want to shoot because I told you already I'm not into hero worship.
I heard that there was a mishap with Juju.
Yeah, but for some reason there's something special about this girl that I admire.
That she still managed to dig deep and to find.
And right now you could see that she's not running for herself, as though she's not as though she's running for St. Lucia.
Yes, for her country.
Imagine the girl is injured, hamstring. Now, Terry,
one of the most painful injuries that I've.
This is a strain, one or whatever they call it. So it's not very, but it has to be. And through the pain, she ran to ensure that we got our first medal at those games.
Yes,
because we have medal at the Olympics. She's the world champion, and she's ensuring that we got another medal. So she ran not for herself because she ran for the. I mean, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this girl is special, man. That is why I wore that today. I don't have a cap because when I'm wearing Juju, no party paraphernalia. It's just Juju. You understand? Because yes, the bus will be there and the naming of the highway, etc. But yesterday that girl ran for the pain. She ran for St. Lucia to ensure that she medaled. Gold, silver, we don't care. She medaled. And that talks of bravery. That reminds me of Malcolm Marshall when he went to bat with a broken arm. Gordon Greenidge, for the love of the nation, he goes to bat injured. You carry not these legal fellas now. The fellas is for money. No, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against that. You have to secure your future. Don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret me. But these fellas, the crest, they could kiss the crest because they played for the West Indies, for the pain and Juju. I respect that, and that is why I'm going to continue to wear her and as much as possible because I think she's extremely special and she's doing what she's doing now. She is going beyond her and she's representing us, and I think that Shelton, to me, is touching. You understand? So I don't know if you want to comment on that, Shelton. That is my take.
No, that's pretty okay. Juju has a certain dignity,
yes, man,
and grace,
yes,
and resilience about her. That even through the pain, she keeps pushing forward.
Yes.
You know something I want to tell you, and Terry and I were discussing that. So as we go into the break, I want to tell you that real issues, people. I want to tell you that red-blooded people, and you know that everybody is, I suspect at some point, Terry and I will decide to say as we go forward, let's rename this program The Red Issues. I suspect that, But, we haven't reached that point yet. Let me tell you something, people. No matter how much you see Flambeau and Alan Chasney on the ropes, no matter how much you think their back is to the wall, don't let that ever cause you to become complacent. Never. People, do what Philip J. Pierre tells you to do. Stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. Make a commitment that you're going to keep pushing forward, and especially when elections are called. That no matter how much it seems like, oh man, we win that already, get on that line. Let me tell you something. Guy Joseph likes to talk about religion and faith and all this kind of thing. You see, a lot of people believe faith is a placid, easy, lightweight acceptance of things. That's not true, Faith is a difficult thing, Faith is a difficult thing to be faithful and to obey. It takes a lot of work, Faith is a work in itself. We talk about faith and works. Faith is a work in itself. Let me tell you something. Voting is a difficult thing, To go on that line and to stay there when it is moving slow, to not want to quit, to not go away, intending to come back, and then you doze off, and then you, okay, all right, don't do that, It's a whole suite of discipline you must have as a voter. Young people especially, somebody tell them that if they're not listening to people like Terry and I because of our age group, their demographic, although I think otherwise. Young people, don't stay up in the night on your tablet and on your iPhone and on your thing, chatting, and you go into bed at 3-4 in the morning, and then you sleep, and then you wake up at 10, and you you grouchy and you all kinds of way because you didn't sleep well, and then you go, on the line, and it take a little while because there is no internet because you had planned while you were there to be on your device and so on, and then there is no Wi-Fi, whatever, so you get frustrated. First you're drowsy already, and then you're going back home intending to come back, and you doze off to make up on the sleep, intending to come back later in the afternoon. When you wake up, polls closed already. Polling stations not open anymore. Don't do that, Begin to practice the discipline from now on, and to have the resolve and the focus. And I would suggest to the candidates, now that all of you are known, and a few going to be learned soon, to have what I will call mock voting. Practice voting from time to time. Come to the multi-purpose center, to the party or headquarters, whatever. You can get some papers and so on, and practice some mock balloting just to get that. You see, just like soldiers take target practice and so on, so that that rifle feels like it's one with their hands and whatever it is. Get people about how to fold the ballot and so on, and how to put it in the box and so on, and where you have to mark the X so that it is inside the box. It must not go outside the box. Don't worry whether it is an X or a cross. Once you have two lines traversing each other, they won't dealing. Ka traverser, pas di couper. Non men dealing ka couper on a lot. Pas di ça. They won't dealing et puis ka traverser on a lot. Et an di dan boîte là, bon moun nan ouvre vote bay là, et puis la kani symbole là. Do practice balloting. Paper, there must be paper that you can do a little, how you call that, improvised kind of little thing. Get people in the frame of mind about casting their ballot. And young people, because they have so many things to engage their attention and their time, their devices and so on. I have other suggestions about how to counter that, but I ain't gonna make them, hey, you crazy? Next thing, if you think I'm talking a lot, well, I'm telling you, I'm beginning to get classified. I have suggestions about things you can do to make sure people don't get frustrated on the line. But my point is, as I will make, do not take the troubles in Flambeau and what Big Daddy had to say and what Edmond Estefan, appearing. Don't let that get to your head to the point where your commitment, where your passion, where your determination, where you cannot wait, you're chomping at the bit to go and vote. Voting not sexy. Voting not sexy. The actual voting, the campaign, the rallies, the motorcades, woo, that infuses you with an energy, with a drive. You want it to continue forever. But the actual day of voting and the process is not sexy. You cannot hype up. You can't make noise, jubilation. You can't be in vehicle yelling and shouting, especially in the region of a polling station. You're not supposed to wear your color, shirt with your campaign thing on that day and so on. Everything is very subdued and so on. And for a lot of people who are accustomed to the high octane, high energy of the campaign, that is almost like a difference that they had never reckoned on. And you have to start to prepare people's minds for that. Don't let what's happening in Europe, what you hear happening, cause your commitment to keep your eyes on the prize and to go and vote. Elections are won on the day. You can have the best motorcades, you can have the best rallies, you can have the best meetings and so on. And you do not turn out and show up and perform for your party, for your country, for your family, for your people on the day, all the beautiful motorcades and rallies and all would have been for nothing. Don't let that happen to you. Stay focused in the voice of Philip J. Pierre and keep your eyes on the prize. Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters. We take our first commercial break, and when we come back, it'll be more Terry than me.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
St. Lucia, are you ready to tease your way to the World Creole Music Festival 2025 in Dominica? NBC and Real FM is giving one lucky fan the ultimate getaway, an all-expense-paid trip to the Nature Island for 3 nights of non-stop rhythm, culture, and unforgettable vibes. Here's how to enter. Step 1, follow us on Instagram at Real FM Official. 2, post a video up to 90 seconds long telling us why you deserve to be at the World Creole Music Festival 2025. Be bold, be creative, and show your passion for Creole music and culture. Step 3, tag us and send a collaboration invite to at Real FM Official so your video appears on both our pages. Step 4, get those likes up. The video with the most likes by October 10th wins the prize: round-trip airfare, comfy accommodation, and all-access pass to the World Creole Music Festival 2025 to enjoy Dominica to the fullest. But hurry, the contest runs from August 11th to October 10th, and the winner will be announced on October 11th. This opportunity is open to all St. Lucians aged 21 and over. Only 1 entry per person, so make it count. Don't just dream about the festival. Tease your way there, only with MBC and Real FM.
Powered by Discover Dominica.
I gotta go with you. I gotta go with you. I gotta go with you.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with The Real Issues, powered by Blue Waters, at the start of another week of our program, which airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on the radio station Real FM 91.3 North and 91.5 South, simulcasting on NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service, as well as streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Now, speaking about we being on the TV, this is the second time in a couple of days. On Friday, I got the message from the same person saying the TV had no sound a few minutes ago. And now she says, blessed Monday afternoon to you, Shelton. I can see you, but the TV has no sound. Stay safe. Love. Now, I don't know. I don't seem to be getting that complaint from anybody else. So, I don't know. Maybe you need to check something on your remote. Perhaps the mute button, you pressed it accidentally and didn't realize that. So maybe check it again. It sounds rare that you would have a problem which is legitimate, genuine, and then it's only one person it's affecting. And, normally I would get a swarm of messages about it, and I haven't. Good afternoon to Cornelia Jacob. Good afternoon to Egbert Andrew. Aisha Eugene in the USVI. Alvin Kanai, also in the USVI. And let's see. Who else do we have here? Cornelia is suggesting that you double check your TV. A lady, maybe middle age going into the senior years and so on, she probably would not be sharp on that. So perhaps somebody can give her a little help with that one. And we have a message which said, Shelton, the amazing thing is that he was reading from prepared text. They're talking about Guy Joseph. Mm-hmm. Is this what the party of Sir John has become? That you actually have a prepared text, somebody give you to read, or you prepare yourself to come and say about blood must run in this country. And when you say, don't come back and try to smart mouth and say, when you say blood must run.
Oh, they took me wrong.
Yeah, you took me wrong. And blood is always,
out of context.
We all have blood, and, so why you why you need to come and tell people blood must run?
Yeah.
Another message says, this is really unhinged. Where are the Puritan police of the UWP? And this is the thing I find, if UWP, they're quick to pounce on things where they believe they have brownie points, some kind of thing that they can make hay of. And UWP go in and on the offensive about women who are insulted and women that, and usually it's Richard Frederick that they take on. But one of the key surrogates of the UWP, a woman, goes on TV. And the best kind of political messaging that she can come up with, the best kind of communication strategy, with her hand signal, and repeating as if she's going into some kind of hysteria. Richard, do you have a pound?
Do you have a pound?
Do you have a pound? And it's repeated, I tell you, that kind of shrill, high-pitched shrillness about it. Do you have a pound, Richard? And I'm saying, when I wonder, what about this pound? Is it that Richard studied law in England that he's so broke or whatever? But that's so long ago. Then somebody is telling me is the size of a certain part of the anatomy that is being alluded to. And I'm saying...
So when I said what I said, you took me to task.
Yeah,
but I will not say it again. I will not go down that road. I have apologized.
Something about Richard alluding to Lisa Joseph's cancer and her chemo. But you come in on a thing and that is what? Do you have a pound? Is your penis this size? Really and truly. And I say...
So they have license to say whatever they want. And nobody can push back.
But this is the same person... If she gets a little backhand retort from somebody that has some sting in it, usually a Richard or somebody, you're going to find the Laura Jean-Pierre's and who else, they up in the air, you got sauté, because Richard can't silte femme, Richard can't silte this, that, and they have no respect for women. But that's the best a woman can do, to come on a thing. And this thing was said over and over and over. Now, I said I wasn't going to say anything about it, because when you do that, you probably give them the basis to correct course. And you do this kind of, nonsensical, thing and so on.
Shelton and the two Chihuahua, blah, blah, blah.
And what was it called? Relics or something like that and so on. But that's the best. What happened to the women? Do they talk to that person and say, look, this is a season where we are badly in need of proper and effective political messaging. Coming out with something and with your hand about whether a minister has certain penile dimensions, Do you have a pound? Do you have a pound? You know what I know, what you know, and this kind of thing. I said, oh my goodness me. But there we go again,
But Terence Villan is a bad guy for referencing Thailand. But that's okay.
Digging down into the depths of D Class A, you know. Yeah. Anyway,
we have a short video.
Terry, go ahead.
Video 2, just 29 seconds. If I tell you, Philip J. Pierre is ahead of his time, you know. Listen to the minister in Guyana. Just play that quickly.
We said we wanted at least one graduate per household. You go back to the liberating influence of education or the possibilities of how education can touch lives. We felt that if we had at least one graduate per household in the university, in the country, then they could serve as a model, as an engine of economic empowerment for their families and for the communities, and of course they could contribute to national life. We said we wanted at least one graduate per household. You go back to the liberating influence of education or the possibilities of how education can touch lives. We felt that if we had at least one graduate per household in the university, in the country, then they could serve as a model, as an engine of economic empowerment for their families and for the communities, and of course they could contribute to national life.
So, what Philip J. Pierre said long time ago, one graduate per household. People say, hey, how you could do that? You know, I heard that talk shows. We are slowly getting there. Everybody else is falling in line, you know. Listen to the lady that's Guyana, you know, oil rich, full of oil, Shelton. Fastest growing economy in the world. Well, some African countries are catching up. But just getting, they want to have this, what Philip J. Pierre has proposed, one university graduate per household. That will transform lives. That's your way out of poverty, Safa Lewis. And don't forget, SLP is the party of education. So when this guy says he's going to fund all things, but you have to cut the 42 programs and basically make it a hotel trade school where all our children will learn housekeeping, bell hopping, etc. I mean, people, let's get real. You can't fund it. Now, I want to go to an article. I want to reference an article. You know, it was released today, September 15th, 2025. Now, it is an article posted by Melanius Alphonse. I know some of you don't have time for it, but he is not the author. A special contributor, somebody who wants to keep themselves. Now, I will not read the whole article because it is really and truly very long. And I was by the beach there trying to take notes, and I told Shelton, guys, I'm going to come here, guys, just because I have it, sir. Also screenshots, sir, the salient points, edit, chop, and, you know, so I took off just 5, Jacquan, just 6. 6 points, because really and truly, this guy decided that that 7-point plan, Shelton, is découché, and it's going to wreck the economy. No economy saw that. I'm going to repeat that. Everybody on the platform heard those 7 steps, 7-point plan. The guy is asking, is that a program? Is that a policy? What is it? He's not sure what this is. Because that is just going to, that is from a reckless mind. And again, I'm saying no economy saw that. Yes, Titus and Tommy may have contributed to that, but these fellows are not economists. If you don't know the difference between VAT exempt and VAT zero rated, you're not an economist. And Tommy was promoted to the level of his incompetence when they made him economic advisor because the economy tanked and the prime minister came before us. The country's broke and we have no more money. COVID made it worse. So these fellows are not economists. So no serious economist saw that. Okay? So let's get word 1. I'm just going to take a few excerpts of that. It's very lengthy, and I go read. Word 1, so I have to keep Shaquan on his toes there now. Because I'm going to read it now. He says, it's entitled, the UWP SOS, same old, you could substitute the S, 7. And what it says, that is inconclusive. You understand? The W, and now listen, he's siding with me. You know, I call them a side. You know how we call them? He says that's the UWP club. That's a club. Asnes, you know, he owns the place, and these fellas are just guests. So it's a club. The UWP SOS 7 is inconclusive. Not even the UWP strategists and politicals can explain with any degree of proficiency what it is. And that's true. When the leader was asked to explain how are you going to fund the health insurance, he started to cry. Well, I'm going to take the people to work with me, because we have a lot of strokes and amputees, and they're going to work with me around the country, and they will see. He can't explain it. Crocodile tears will not solve St. Lucia's health crisis, garçon. Crocodile tears will not solve. That's from the article. He says St. Lucia has 44 primary care health facilities and 2 major public hospitals, along with a private hospital, and independent. Yes, and the recommissioning of St. Jude's. The recommissioning of St. Jude's will pose a new and different dimension. So, Shasne, you are I don't know if you're the author or somebody just gave you that to read. Because I told you all, if you just look at that, it's looking good, If you just look at it on the surface. But when you put it under the microscope, you realize that is major problem there. So, crocodile tears, we go to number 3, wood free. So, crocodile tears, Shasne, cannot fool the people anymore. You could cry now until Jesus comes. That ain't going to help you, boy. That ain't going to save you. We want answers. We want we want to see the nitty-gritty. Where you getting the money from? All right. So put number 3 up. To advance the UWP SOS 7, it is said that the SOS plan inspires St. Lucians, and that there is a renewed UWP with a plan to save St. Lucia. And he has saved St. Lucia from what? That's why you don't see how the country running. You don't see how the little partner from Bagadelle tell you, the country running so nice. Yeah. What are you saving us from? No, and from whom?
No, he wants to save us from our salvation.
From whom? And for what? The ordeal on the ground is that a UWP Same old 7 campaign of yesterday is thoughtless. Titus was right. This man cannot think through anything. It is thoughtless, a thoughtless declaration. The antics is a game of shock therapy, and listen that, and the re-imaging of a wannabe savior of primitive antiquity. Guys, that is an insult. This is an unfeeling way to death by misadventure through campaign clowning. Let me read that again. Let me take my time. Terry, go on your phone because the screen gives me trouble. To advance the UW SOS 7, it is said that the SOS plan inspires solutions. Quote here. No. And that there is a renewed UWP with a plan to save solution from whom? Okay. Number 3. The ordeal on the ground is that a UWP SOS 7 is a campaign of yesteryear. A thoughtless declaration. You just voice Allah. The antics is a game of shock therapy and the re-imaging of a wannabe savior of primitive antiquity. This is an unfeeling way to death of the economy, death by misadventure through campaign clowning, because that's all they do on a Sunday, clowning, campaign clowning. But let's go to number 5. The UWPs, I'm a little ahead of Jaquan. The UWP 25, the 2.5 levy. It was loading. Sorry, that's okay. The UWP SOS 7 to remove the 2.5 levy at this time is an advance death warrant beneficial to the undertaker, because it's only $34 million we collected for that, Healthcare alone requires a commitment of $188 million. So when you take that out, the little levy that we're not even feeling that. How you Shasne? Let's go to the last one, and then we can open the line, Shelton. The hidden message of the UWP SOS 7 is complex and highly dubious, as expressed by fraction within and argued herein. Amid this backdrop, the nexus is a straightforward rebuke of neo-colonialists and oligarchs, Shasne's political club, their thinking and intentions. In other words, you know what the man is saying? That SOS 7 is a complete waste of découché. It is just 5 to stay alive, served, they put that in the microwave, it get hot, and trying to serve. That is going to be the death knell of our economy. This is unsustainable, and he cannot tell you how he's going to finance it. When he's asked, how are you going to finance that, he starts to cry. You know, he cries on the man. Tell me which other country, $75,000 health insurance. How is that spun? How is that going to work, Shasni? You can't say that. So what you do, you try to look for sympathy. I'm going to work with the people who are amputated and Maji. Man, come with something that makes sense. You know, we're going to keep Safa the way it is. Trust PJP to do what he's doing. Already we're financing the nurses and we're getting there. We have the B.Ed programs and other degree programs. We're getting there. We're going to do it. We're not going to change Safa into any trade school for our children just to come and learn, you know, hotel trades, how to serve, how to set a table, how to make a bed. That's what you want. That's what came out of your mouth. Our children deserve better than that. And no amount of gimmickry and trickery and gla will fool us. We know better. We are the party of education. And if you're going to transform Safa, the Labour Party is going to do that. We are already investing heavily. You don't even want to, you're talking about Safa paying rent and they're not getting in. Kasa, you behave yourself, take a backseat. This 7-point plan, I'm happy that you drop it now and not just 2 days before election so that we could take it apart and show the world, lay bare that this is a nonsense. And as the guy says, this is going to be the death knell, man. This is death by misadventure. Man, Shasta, this is... I couldn't put it any better. Death by misadventure. The death of the economy. But you cannot explain how you're going to finance anything there. You're taking out all the revenue streams, but you want largest. How? We know you're reckless already. You have read the economy once, and we're not going to give you a second chance to do that.
All right. Thank you very much, Terry. I think we can take a few calls before the break.
Yes.
And the numbers to dial, you can WhatsApp call us on 758, that's the area code of course, 487-9849. That's 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that. And you can call us on the landline direct 4533-911. You can also send text messages that we will get instantly on air in real time on our screen, our message board in the studio in front of Jaquan. And you can go to realfmofficial.com, that's one website, or mbcslu.com. You'll see the WhatsApp messaging links. Click on them, type your message, hit the send button, and instantly. Is the word instantly or instantaneously?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get the message, but we have a first call already. Real issues. Hello? Hello? Yes. We're hearing you kind of faintly, but hold on. We're doing something to make your volume higher.
Hello.
Yes, no gata no man say forward la.
Yes. No problem.
Yeah, no gata no pli bien actuellement.
Pardon?
No gata no pli bien actuellement.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Bienvenue pour faire nous reconnaître chaque calé à ça qui doit chaque pas doit. Pour what là oui merci guest là qui est pour là. Tout le monde a la terre qui a coûté North, South, East and West. Qui a coûté Shoah. So, moi, je voulais remercier encore avec bon compliment par le gouvernement. Sur opposition, si vous faire bon, vous dire bon, moi d'accord, mais si vous dire ça pas bon, il faut de la part support. Parce que pour qui raison, il faut de la cap Dieu. Il a dit ça qui bon, ça bon Dieu qui te bon nous. Papa, est-ce que ça n'a répété, n'a dit parce qu'on a prié Dieu. Moi qui aime BC Prayer Warrior, Correction, bon, moi demande des pistes, et demande de la paix pour nous tous. Est-ce que vous comprenez?
Oui, nous comprenons. Nous comprenons pas là.
Parole bloodshed, bon c'est ça, moi pas qu'à support, pas qu'à c'est moi. Ça pas parole, papa là il est capable, pas de quitter ça. Outan, le papa te capable quitter la terre, il quitte pas les nous. Il dit nous était in peace, love one another, et qu'il a la papa à sa place là il a vivre l'autre quoi pour mettre nous. Était in peace. Bon pour qui c'est toutes les paroles nous attend blood shed blood, tout sorte qualité ça, il pas te dit ça. Papa pas de quitter sa pièce. Il dit thou shall not make false witness against thy neighbor. Il quitte tout ça, bon, moi, tout, yo ça 27 là pour moi. Bon, on a parlé pour le sacrifier, la terre, à nous vivre à de bonne honneur manière papa qui il dit qu'il vient garder pour nous mais il dit very near il pas dit ça il dit very near so me commande peace love and unity commande gouvernement qui a gouverné là tu as ça c'est nous tout not one not two not three all of us regardez ça c'est pour l'hôpital là-bas nous pas chaque là moi c'est $100 moi qui a brûlé moi travaille 3 web moi donation $100 à l'église Choiseul pour faire l'hôpital et juste toujours il pas fait moi pour top soleil chaud moi devais dire où c'est ça moi n'a quitté bail tout ces monde n'a qu'attendre voir moi yaï ou quoi dit ou quoi attendre moi n'a c'est me faire à quoi la mao il y a moi devrais request là tout c'est clair ou quoi attendre moi tout le monde la famille moi c'est richement c'est riche là m'a dit papa n'a pas dit 3 fois pour journée papa guide yo protéger faire que des pieds maman yo bonne tête la maman yo ni love la jaillit notre yadi MBC encore good love good conduct pour eux merci Mr. Sheldon Daniel monsieur Akile pour là tout le monde north south east and west got on forward là FORWARD now thank you all.
Okay, merci un peu le forward là. Et puis, we have another call on the line. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Real Issues. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, comrade.
How are you doing, comrade?
Yes, I'm good. Something like the Republic of Library.
Yes, right. Yes, indeed.
My PJP, I think PJP lead and others follow.
That's right.
Yeah, this man is a genius.
Oh, yes.
He's one of us. He thinks like us. The man thinks ahead. But the bad Adventists want to condemn PJP to hell. I don't know whatever he said. They send on the text, whatever. So he said if they don't apologize, if they're dirty politics and all them kind of crap. But we don't have time for Guy. Guy talked so much shit yesterday. When I think we'll need that 21 toilet he having that not to flush it. Honestly, I deliberately stayed up listening to thinking out there something positive, something constructive. That guy spoke honestly, I think he's taking that thing too far. Yeah, you inciting people to doing all these things, and I don't know how, for the life in me, I'm an Adventist, I cannot sit down and listen to a guy preach or do anything in a church. I will not do it. Yeah, I will just one thing comfortable, and I don't know how people can actually listen to guy. You can go to church just Saturday, preach and do all this, and that Sunday you want to come and beat people and disrespect and do all this sort of thing. I mean, who does that?
Guy.
Yeah. Yes, it's only about Adventists will do that, guy.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we can go into our commercial break now. Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. We'll return shortly, taking more of your calls and looking at some of your messages.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, Vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
St. Lucia, are you ready to tease your way to the World Creole Music Festival 2025 in Dominica? MBC and Real FM is giving one lucky fan the ultimate getaway, an all-expense-paid trip to the Nature Island for 3 nights of non-stop rhythm, culture, and unforgettable vibes. Here's how to enter. Step 1, follow us on Instagram at Real FM Official. 2, post a video up to 90 seconds long telling us why you deserve to be at the World Creole Music Festival 2025. Be bold, be creative, and show your passion for Creole music and culture. Step 3, tag us and send a collaboration invite to at Real FM Official so your video appears on both our pages. Step 4, get those likes up. The video with the most likes by October 10th wins the prize: round-trip airfare, comfy accommodation, and all-access pass to the World Creole Music Festival 2025 to enjoy Dominica to the fullest. But hurry, the contest runs from August 11th to October 10th, and the winner will be announced on October 11th. This opportunity is open to all St. Lucians aged 21 and over. Only 1 entry per person, so make it count. Don't just dream about the festival. Tease your way there, only with MBC and Real FM.
Powered by Discover Dominica.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Thanks for staying with the Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. We continue taking your calls and we have people waiting already. Let's go to the landline. You're on the air. Go ahead. Oops, person. That's why I went there first. I know the landline might be a bit of a tight leash for somebody. So let's take the WhatsApp line now. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Right. Yes, my call will be very brief. And I want to address the young people of St. Lucia, those who are voting age. Do not be fooled by Chasney and his gang of men. There are projects. There are places where you can go like this, like to start off your small business. Go.
Oh my word! Sorry, Tricky. You'll have to call back.
Okay, he's calling back straight away.
Hello.
I'm told that you tricked yourself.
Oh. well, let me tell you, I have a bone to pick with you all before I start, right?
Yeah.
When you're referring to these fellas as tricksters and things, try to keep my name out of it.
Well, we never use tricksters.
Yeah, because I'm nothing like this gang of men.
We know that.
All right.
We sure of
I was
that.
saying, I was speaking to the young people, and I was saying that the Prime Minister and the government of St. Lucia and the Labour Party in general over the years, if you look at the history, they have done more for young people than any other party. And that's a fact. So I'm saying to the young people now, go out. The information is out there. Use your cell phones. Go online. Seek the ministry email addresses. Go on the websites and see what the government has been doing to enhance your position and to enhance your life as a young person. Because what's going to happen in these elections is these flambos are desperate and they'll want to come and buy your vote. But I have news for you. When you sell your vote to these people, they don't owe you a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So you've sold your vote, so you've lost the right to come to them to ask them for any help. So I'm saying, young people, be wise. This government is a government that is working in your interests. And there's never been a government in the history of St. Lucia who has done more for young people than this Labour Party government.
That's right.
So we are saying to you today, do not sell your vote. After you've sold your vote, you have lost every right to advocate for yourself and to look for anything from your government. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Thanks. All right, Real Issues powered by Blue Waters. We're taking your calls until 2 o'clock. Do we have another person on the line? Yes, we are about to have someone else on the line. Hi.
Afternoon, gentlemen.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just listen to me. Allow me to encapsulate the whole political atmosphere for you. That is really called Lucia. Just friend to a fellow named Kenny. Kenny was doing his best, helping her along. That certain improvements have been made in her life. Her socio-economic life has improved. Her, things are getting better. Mm-hmm. This fella called Alan come, switching the lady telling her, Kenny this, Kenny that, Kenny not good, and couple with some of their cohorts on the media. The woman leave Kenny, she gets married to Alan. Alan now come. Alan block her eye, bust her mouth, give her kicks in her tail, ill-treat her children, call them names, Safa, with whole COVID relief funds. We forget that. The COVID relief is $70-something million, the COVID relief funds. Where is that money? I never get the income support, I never get no relief. And many more solutions didn't get. So now, the fellow named Philip come. He say, well, boy, I can't promise you much, I promise you, but I ain't going to treat you like how I treat you. From that, he say, Alan, he begs Philip. Philip come and say, oh, things are looking, the horizons are looking bright. Everything on the up and up. Look at it reflected. It reflected in the sports, in the cricket. Everybody was trying to improve themselves. All St. Lucia because the atmosphere had changed. St. Lucians were not watching each other to go and spy and say, well, this one. They were not doing that. Everybody was going to improve their life. Who's that? Alan Kavi. Kadi from La Costa. Philip. Et même des bits of from La Camade, okay. Mais Philippe ka aide moi. Si ça ou même ka ou fait moi. Bah oui passé. Bagay oui passé. Let me tell you something, The United Workers' Party is going to get one of the greatest defeats of their existence because that is no flabo accord. That is this party my father invested so much money and time and effort in. That's not that same party. That has metamorphosed into some kind of a creature. Magic this cochon qui a mangé petit. Parce qu'on va voir ça yo fait caro à sous TV live. Gentlemen, Let not your heart be troubled. I waiting for St. Jude's to open. I will be there. I taking the walk. Have a good day.
All right, thank you. This man made the song come to my mind. May Lord help me. Pani Flabo. All right, we have another call on the line. Real issues. Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. Hi, good afternoon. You're on the air. Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
I realize that, Shelton. Let me tell you, you don't notice what's going on. Everything for these guys is the Labour Party that do it.
Except,
You know,
except the
Shelton,
good,
how long-
except the good things, eh? They
Yes,
don't. Yeah.
yes. But what it's coming across as is confession. Do you know how long there have been Haitians in St. Lucia? Do you know?
Yes, a very long time.
A very long time. Suddenly, Haitians in St. Lucia is voodoo by the St. Lucia Labour Party. But it was Dominique Fete on a platform who said about salt whilst he was holding salt and he lost his voice. Okay? And now you have a minister of religion, an elder in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, standing on a political platform as a former minister of government, cannot say to this country what policies they're going to put. Hello, let us not call SOS 7 policies. Thank you. They cannot tell us what they will do differently to Philip Joseph Pierre. They cannot direct us, tell us, we're going to move you from here to there. A man promised to build 23 countries, not even that he could have done. But you have Guy Joseph as a minister of religion speaking about sex on a platform. He's speaking about homosexual orgies. Does that give him some measure of orgasmic relief? Is that going to take us St. Lucia and St. Lucians from one point to the next? Would the pensioners be benefiting in December as a result of homosexual orgies? And that same Guy Joseph is speaking about homosexuals and lesbians, and he wants them to vote for him. Don't you think so? Shouldn't they have an issue with him targeting them on a platform? Come on, Shelton, you know what? We can do better. You see, Philip Joseph, the man know what to do, when to do, how to do. Master strategist. And St. Lucia is such on such a high that we have 3 international medals. Gold, silver, and bronze. Guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you very much. All right, we continue taking your calls. I think we have someone else on the line. Terry, in the meantime, any comments from you in terms of...
I like the caller who demonstrated that well, man, about the love affair.
Okay, I see Chandali Harak is announcing
afternoon,
about a
Shelton.
community.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
Yes, Safa, good afternoon. Yeah. Oh, I big up my Prime Minister, all of them. Oh, praises for the Prime Minister. Praises for the Prime Minister. And all the elderly are praying for him. And there is no way he's going down. Just they have to go back again and look for crab. Guy Joseph ain't no man. Guy our. So I pray for my Prime Minister. Yesterday was a bosom and we're just waiting for St. Jude on Sunday. Because that Prime Minister moving mountain, everybody, UWP, getting everything. Those are getting $300, getting $500 NIC. People praising Pierre. And Prime Minister, we're just waiting, the home health program, just waiting for you to do the good you have to do for the home health program that's taking care of the elderly. We are standing with you from the north, south, east, and west. We're not dropping you. And our Minister, Kenson Kazimi, My rep is working hard. And Marcella have to come back again. We're sending Marcella to Brazil after the election. Brazil, we're sending her.
Why Brazil?
No, Brazil, I want her to go Brazil. Want play football, Brazil. Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Chandali Harak saying on Wednesday the 17th, which is this Wednesday, of course, Angers Secondary School. She's saying a community meeting will be held there. I think on that same date, Comrade Stabach is going to be having an annual general meeting at the Clendon Mason Secondary School in Dennery on Wednesday the 17th.
Babano is scheduled for Thursday.
All right, okay.
That's the
We have another call on the line. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon to you.
Let me tell you something. Remember, Mr. Previll had a seat. Mr. Shastney does not sit and think, he's a reckless guy. He does not measure things.
Yeah, he doesn't think things through.
So that's 7. Can I say shit on your program?
Yeah.
Sheep.
That's
Okay.
7 shitload of shit that he presented there. Right? He did not sit down and think of it. He did not sit down and give it thought. Because that's who he is. Remember, Mr. Previll, who knows him well and work with him, said that. His words, Mr. Previll said, it's never going to happen. He's not going to sit down and think of things. So that's something they handed to him. They tell him, look, go and read that. And when they ask you and they question you and they ask you how you'll fund it, fake a cry. Just fake a cry. That will fool us in St. Lucia. It will cause us to remember all what he did. Can you imagine? This guy is really taking us for AS squared, Because you're coming for 7 SOS. Shitload of shit. They're asking you how you will fund it, but you will fake a cry. You were there almost 6 years. The people you're crying for now, what did you do for them? I keep asking.
Absolutely
What did you do for them? Only now you know those people? You mean during the time you reign, we didn't have people with high blood pressure, that had stroke, that had one leg and amputations and stuff like that? What did you do for them? Over $600-700 million you just played and blasted. What did you do for them? But Mr. Shastney, like I've said, convinced himself that he can forget what he did, and we will forget what he did the 5 to 6 years that he was there. But he lied. He lied and he lied. Go ahead, brothers.
All right, thank you very much. We also will be having another community meeting tomorrow. That's in Dennery North. Yeah, Dennery North. So the lead being taken, the activities stepping up, accelerating, intensifying. And this time it's going to be in the constituency of the man whose name has become synonymous. We repeat again
and again.
Sean again. All right, so the St. Lucia Labour Party in Dennery North having community meeting for Grand Riviere. And of course, Grand Riviere has the surrounding areas of Tomazo, Dibonnet, Montparnasse, Alemon, Fournier. And that will be at the Grand Riviere Human Resource Development Center between 7 and 9 p.m. on Tuesday, 16 September 2025. All right? We have another call on the line. Real Issues, you're on the air. Hello? Oh, that was the same. Sorry about that. Well, might just as well take one because we're getting another one straight away. I call a Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon, Terry.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon to you.
How you doing, guys?
We all right?
Okay.
Doing great. Sorry.
I need you all to help me on that one. How is it you present a 7-point plan to save our St. Lucia? Let's say it right. And then I'm seeing an advertisement to everyone to come and give ideas on what you believe St. Lucia needs.
Back to front.
Make that make sense for
Back
me,
to front.
please.
Back to front.
So
So
what's the SOS? What's the 7-point plan? Where did it come from?
From a mad fella.
Help me,
It come from a mad fella.
Yeah, a boom fool.
I really don't understand that. Another thing, gentlemen, I heard somebody talking about sex and orgies and this and that. And that same person say he never slander anybody, he doesn't talk bad about anybody. And what is this? The person don't know that we know him. What I want to find out from y'all, I put a scripture in the Real Issues chat. I want y'all to read that scripture for me, please. It comes from the book of Timothy, 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 to 5. And I want you to read what I believe ought to be the qualities of an elder, as listed in the Bible, and tell me if you find any verse that is associated with the person you hear talking. Now, I'll know you. Okay?
But let me read it
But
because
just
we're pressed
read
for
it.
time.
Kerry,
Yes.
I know both you and Shelton, y'all are men who follow the Bible. Okay? The Bible as we know it. So read the scripture for me, please, and help me understand what part of that scripture is associated with this person who wants to talk all over his mouth and believe. Make us know
Put people on
that
notice, consider
whether
Penny
there
say.
are United Workers' Party supporters or Labour Party supporters or no supporters, everybody know who he is. And every time he opens his mouth, he puts a bitter taste in people's. He turns off people, even his own supporters, because they have told me so. Supporters of his party don't want to see him on their TV. Okay, so if the United Workers' Party wants to right the wrongs, that's one of the wrongs they have to right. See where me see on TV? No. Okay?
First Timothy 3, 1 to 5. This is a trustworthy saying. If someone aspires to be a church leader, he desires an honorable position. So a church leader must be a man whose life is above reproach. He must be faithful to his wife. He must exercise self-control, live wisely, and have a good reputation. He must enjoy having guests in his home, and he must be able to teach. He must not be a heavy drinker or be violent. He must be gentle, not quarrelsome, and not love money. He must manage his own family well, having children who respect and obey him. For if a man cannot manage his own household, how can he care of God's church? Can someone... all right. Leave it as that.
All right. Where are we now with the time, Jaquan? 2 more minutes to go, he says. All right, I see Brother Anson Maxwell, and I see a missed call from Jude Pokes Harlow. I don't know how we will manage, but we have someone on the line, which looks like Dr. Carlton Augustine. Hi, good afternoon, Real Issues.
Shelton and Terry.
Yes,
First of all, let me say I was not the author of the article on Melanesi's paper, but it is on point. But I wanted to point, I listened to Shastni on Lisa Joseph, and I must say she was very hard with him. He thought he would go there and he would get some people into which he could hit for 6. I don't think he was prepared.
So it's possible that her goose is cooked with him.
But yes, because particularly with the one and the financing of the free education. Because those guys came up with this thing. And I'm telling you, the intention, they were going to sell it, that they were going to finance it with the CIP. But when me and some others pushed back and pointed out the inconsistency is that you cannot finance recurrent expenditure with a revenue stream that is very uncertain. I think they went into a tumble. They don't have to come up with another story. And the other point that I wanted to make, Terry would appreciate that as a teacher, former teacher, is like that SOS is 5 to Stay Alive repackaged. So a student submits a paper for one class, and next semester submits it for another class and just adds 1 or 2 paragraphs without much thought. And that's what those guys did. It's just 5 to Stay Alive repackaged.
Desperate.
And St. Lucians have to be very careful before they get a Malbu.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And I think that will do it for us for the Real Issues today. We're seeing 2 o'clock on the screen. You know, this 7 whatever SOS is cobbled together by the very same person who has the mindset that he don't need anybody's advice or suggestions, you know.
Don't help me.
Don't help me. Don't question me. Don't second guess me, you know. So, but the lotto is on. We got to go now, folks. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Well,
Well, it's quite the man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.